lobotomite. What? Why, yes, it is. I used to leave it outside his door, and no matter how canned the food, he... You know, I'm having the most perplexing feeling squiggling through my biogel. Why, yes, Gabe. No matter how awful my day had been, he... And when I would talk to him about Betsy, and how Marcus would beat on me and call me Smarty's sissy pants, And... If you don't mind, I'll take that bowl. For some reason, its similarity to the crater shape of Big Mountain is starting to fill up all available cognitive spaces. That, combined with my own overwhelming feeling of having done something terrible, the two were hitting me with unexpected... As odd as it is, I believe that is the conclusion. And I wonder... This sensation is unpleasant. I don't care for it. Still, it is no matter. Crush the feeling down. Crush it down. Push it into the loop. I do not...
Starting combat. Just kidding.
Why does it look too similar from before? This him?
Oh, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing, you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. A little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into... Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine. Went black a while ago. That's old age for you. Should look at getting the visual nerves reattached. It's just that the right eye would see the wrong things. The flying tortoises were the worst. Would you care for a mentat? I love mentats. Delicious and... I have all sorts of amazingly science-terrific thoughts and ideas when those chalky talents are zipping through my biogel. I forget them all not long after, though. Especially with the data constipating my memory core. Afraid binary...
Had to start using the dome floor and walls here to inscribe equations, although I've somewhat lost track of where they start and end. Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Morbius is better than I.
What?
Do you? You seem fine without it. And does it even want to go back with you? Maybe you should ask it. It's quite independent, has all manner of opinions. Tell you what, I'll leave it up to your brain. If it wants to go, then fine. If not, well, you should respect its wishes. Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Or maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers. The ghosts aren't real? That changes everything. Why, I can save my computing power for other perceptual impossibilities. Please be my guest. The receptor is the... Oh, yes, that feels wonderful. This is even better than my... Well, every scientist needs an army. Mine came to me after these rather large scorpions kept coming in from the desert, like poisonous frosting. How scary, I thought. But they had survived when nothing else had. Perfect candidates for improvement as a reward for their tenacity. Then I thought, what if they shot energy bolts and acted as walking eyes and data-drained computers and acted as bullhorns? Then I thought about custard. I do so love custard. Was it... I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. So many chems, such varieties. Whenever... As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories. Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. You and your brain are quite alike. Dr. Morbius. Rather catchy, isn't it? It's my name, and my new name overwrote the old one. This name's as real as you or I. Although I believe your brain expressed similar incredulity. Someone's been watching too many old-world science fiction movies, it said. I must admit I have a vulnerability for holotape fantasies of planets and robots and all that. Like the think tank, we were all reprogrammed to forget them, take on new names. It enforces the recursion loop in our perception programming.
Well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been? Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
I'm talking to my own brain.
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie? Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, Dick, unquote, as if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? I most certainly am not. I'm the seat of all reason and logic in our little partnership. All those feelings that motivate you, that sense of righteousness and that rush you get when you help someone, do you know where those come from? Glands.
Me.
They come from glands. Free of the tyranny of your ape-like and primitive endocrine system,
Whoa.
I can see how foolish. Well, look, it's all a very complex system of biofeedback and other things I wouldn't expect you to understand. Oh, all right. Perhaps I am, but at least I'm logical about it. I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd road. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and bio... Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite... Overrated biological feedback. Believe me, you only feel that way because you've got all that meat. Oozing homo. I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it? Indeed, quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve... I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us. Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem.
What?
Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerves, we would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share. And you believe them? Really? I know once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead. Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we... Right! Look out, Think Tank! I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the Think Tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them... Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work.
Let's get it. That's crazy. I'm talking to my own brain.
require some additional services? You require some additional services? And rightly so, I should think. All right, then.
Oh, okay. I strained it. Okay.
3 angry death claws make for a lot of reconstructive surgery.
It got declined, dude. Okay. This is it. We in the finale.
Might I be of service?
Let's get it. With this prick.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Morbius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped? I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again. And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments. That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. There's no way Morbius would condescend to step inside you. Besides, there's no way such a thing could be accomplished. It's impossible. A fight? I've never been in a fight. What do I...
That's when we throwing them hands.
Colleagues! Think tank! Alert! Alert! We are under attack!
Uh-oh.
I tried to save y'all, but hey, look. Y'all left me with no choice.
Was that all?
Y'all left me with no choice. Now I'm about to loot everything y'all got in here. Man, you can tell they was lonely in here for sure. Dr. Klein glasses. Oh, look like that's it.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discovery safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The Sync Central Intelligence Unit was impressed by the amount of exploration the courier had undertaken. Facilities believed lost, destroyed, or ones that had simply gotten up and walked to new locations had been rediscovered by its intrepid new master. Internally, the artificial personality debated as to whether it preferred the old management to the new, and concluded that the courier's thorough approach to research and investigation was admirable and worthy of its respect.
Dr. Morbius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The Sync atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The Biological Research Station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat. One of them eventually transferred to the Lightwave Dynamics plant and began a long, unrequited affair with one of the holograms.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magnetohydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the big empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean. Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose. It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other Sync personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub. Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except, he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind old Jefferson, with sounds the courier brought him, created a symphonic counter-frequency that saved Big Mountain from sonic invasion in 2910. If you didn't hear about it, good. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names much too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic, dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X-8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after, the stealth suit had left it, without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
The think tank basement, filled with lobotomized robotical frames of the doctors, now served as a graveyard. The monitors had recorded the battle in its entirety, including the think tank's final, shrill, terrified screams, whimpers, and pleas for mercy. They broadcast these humiliating last moments as a warning to anyone approaching the perimeter that other smarty pants were not welcome. The courier was the inheritor of the Big Empty, and there was room for only one will in the halls of the think tank dome.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, old world blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The Sync sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
Finally.
Huzzah, sir! Huzzah! Huzzah, sir! Might I be safe in the assumption that matters with the think tank had been set?
want to push my buttons?
Let's get up out of here.
Sneaking done. Fighting now. Was that all?
Shit, bump it. I wear glasses too. Bump it. Damn, who was I running with?
Uh-oh. Cessation of hostilities complete. Uh-oh. Cessation of hostilities complete. Time to fight. Are we being watched? Cessation of hostilities complete. Time to fight. Fighting over.
Let's go get this other companion.
Ready, steady, fighting. Bad guys dealt with.
Cazador. Yep.
Ready, steady, fighting. Was that all?
much I got now? Probably not much still. Probably got like plus like 2 more or something dumb. 18, so I need 32 more to go. What little crib is this?
Sneaking done. Fighting now. Cessation of hostilities complete. This one looks pretty tough.
Rick. Retribution.
That's all.
Always I do, because I do not like them.
We haven't seen anybody in a while. Maybe the monsters have stealth suits too. Fighting. Fighting over. This one looks pretty. Was that all? Ready, steady, fighting. Bad guys dealt with. Time to fight. Was that all? Ready, steady, fighting. Cessation of hostilities complete. Ready, steady, fighting. all. Who do you think is cuter, Dr. Klein or Dr. Boros?
They dead.
Ready, steady, fighting. Cessation of hostilities complete. Sneaking done. Fighting now. That's all. Sneaking done. Fighting now. Cessation of hostilities complete.
Welcome to Jacobstown, human. You're free to walk around. Just don't stare at the night. And if you're NCR, keep it to your... Such as... Was part of the super mutant army. Ran a town, walked the wasteland with a tribal. Long story, so here's the short version. The Master created the super mutants and Nightkin. The Master thought he could unify everyone. No more differences, no more war. Didn't end well. All right. A lot of bad blood between super mutants and humans. Goes back years. Some here still got... Me? I don't really have a problem with the NCR. Set their sights a little too high sometimes, but they try. Legion? That's another story. Kaisar thinks he can change human nature. Most of the Legion is following Kaisar, not Kaisar's ideals. When he's gone, might not happen overnight. Might take a few decades, but it'll happen. They expand, fast. If you got land they want, they'll take it, eventually. Did it out west, they'll do it. They keep rolling over people. Same as any civilized town. Don't start any fights or stealing.
Let's go ahead and get this other companion out the way.
Little Jimmy? My, how you're grown up. So good of you to come visit your... Oh, Jimmy, don't you go being silly now. Come over here and give your grandma some sugar. Oh, of course I have to. I watch over the bighorners. They're sweet. Better watch out. Lily's been babbling about her grandkids and that. Another human. One was enough. Bother someone else. I don't... Humans are always staring at things. We Nightkin don't like being stared at. Is uncomfortable. It is different. Right now, I'm trying... I represent the Nightkin. Marcus may lead this. Doesn't mean I don't respect Marcus for what he's trying to do.
I assume this is about something important? You're interrupting. I prefer the solitude, and having a bunch of super mutants around. The Nightkin have varying degrees of mental instability due to their addiction to Stealth Boy. I'm currently investigating the local Night Stalker population, since I've also gotten my hands on a working Stealth Boy Mark II prototype, but that experiment is riskier. I'm not convinced that the Night Stalker mutation is a natural one, and I need someone to investigate their lair. Some of the super mutants have looked around as well, but they've come back empty-handed. Lily might be interested in coming with you. She's lost a few of her bighorners. I've compared the brain chemistry of a Nightkin to one of the local Night Stalkers we killed. They both exhibit similar neuro... Now, I'm not claiming that Night Stalkers are running around wearing Stealth Boys. The stealth field has been modulated to use less power and thus last longer, but for some... However, these pronounced effects will allow me to pinpoint exactly what parts of the brain they're affecting. Unfortunately, I'll need to run the test on a live subject, and Marcus has encouraged me to... It's possible, but I've yet... Its negative effect. Yes, specializing in neuroscience, both human and canine. Cyberdogs and the like. It's not a field I work in. Yes, but the leadership and I didn't see eye to eye, so I left. It was the right decision.
Hello again, dear. Ooh, those Night Stalkers. That's exactly...
Got a problem. Could use your help. Been having trouble with NCR mercs harassing the town, and they just showed up again. Guess I can't say for sure if they're NCR. Killing our bighorners, shooting at the lodge, that sort of thing. You're human. They might be willing to listen to... I'm not asking you to kill them. Just talk them into leaving. Thanks.
Our business is with the muties, not... I've always known when to fight and when to back down, and it seems to me I ought to back down this time. My men and I are leaving.
This one looks pretty tough. Starting combat. Just kidding. Was that all? Time to fight. Bad guys dealt with. Time to fight. Was that all? Ready, steady, fighting. Was that all?
Is there something else I can do for you? There's still power, but the casing is cracked. I'm astonished that exposure to the stealth radiation could induce mutations so rapidly. More importantly, this explains why my research into this group of Night Stalkers hasn't come up with a cure for the Nightkin. There's only one avenue left for me. I need to run... Lily is eccentric, certainly, but I've never felt she was dangerous. More importantly, she asked if she could help me. I've told her about the risks, and she still insists on helping me. Possibly immediate and permanent metal damage. There's a reason the Stealth Boy Mark IIs never got beyond the prototype stage. Lily already has a pre-existing condition.
Morning.
Ooh, my God. Look at them legs.
Hello again, dear. Of course, dearie. I know it's dangerous, but it'll all turn out for the best. You'll see. I'll go to him now. It would be rude to keep him waiting.
The equipment is hooked up and ready. Very well. Please stand back. I don't want any erroneous readings. All right, power on the Stealth Boy, Lily.
Turning it on. Grr. Feels strange. Strange, but good.
Interesting. Try thinking aggressive thoughts now. Think about smashing a rat scorpion.
Lily smash! Yeah!
How are those readings looking, Calamity?
Stealth field is unstable and scrambling things. The reading says gamma wave activity is 0. But that can't possibly be right. Gamma wave activity is 0. That can't be right. Must be a result of the interference.
All right, we're done here. Go ahead and power the Stealth Boy down, Lily.
Oh, I liked having it on.
I'll get back to you on that in a moment, once I've analyzed the results.
Well, congratulations on getting the Mark II prototype functional, Doctor. Now, just hand it over, and we'll be on our way. My request is perfectly reasonable. Give us the stealth... No, I didn't. Not until now, anyway. Very well, human. You've made your point, and I withdraw my request.
All right, chill out.
Nice work with the Nightkin. I've never seen anyone able to talk their kind out of anything once they had their mind set to it. I got a lot of useful data from the experiment, and am a lot closer to a cure. It's occurred to me that this brief test might not yield a cure anytime soon. Very well. It will be worth it.
it's a tough one.
Hello again. Let it be love. Well, if you insist. But Leo isn't going...
You're my best friend forever.
I like how you handled Keen. Without the Nightkin around, Jacob's... Good. Glad you didn't kill them. Letting them walk away proves we're not... If NCR or anybody else...
This one looks pretty tough. Was that all?
Hey there.
What do you want now? Tell you what, bring us the... Alright, fine.
Grim has a new sheriff. That system's a powder man.
Time to fight. Was that all?
Oh, look at this cripple man.
Are you fucking kidding me? First I get my leg smashed, and then in walks the Powder Ganger's Grim fucking Reaper. What the fuck if you... Jesus fucking Christ. If you want me dead, just give me 15 medics and I'll fucking OD. You know what I'd be real excited about? If you'd showed up and saved me. Now, why don't you fuck off and let me sleep here? I saw some Legion assholes carrying crates to a cave north of here. May have been NCR shit. I don't fucking know.
Sir, or...
I need all of it.
Still making a new...
Thanks.
Still making a nuisance... Give me a shout if you need anything.
Alright, y'all. I'll be back on probably tomorrow or the next day. And it'll be a lot longer stream. I had to make a quick little stream so I finish it up. But I know for my next stream for sure, I will be trapping a lot of spots. So, alright.